all the. We have to pledge allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes from the July 28th meeting unless anybody has any changes or corrections. Okay, all in favor? Okay. I think we're gonna second.
Pardon me?
She's seconding.
Who made the first? You, okay, thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Also approved by committee of two was 694 Daniels Lane. If possible, can we, Pat, make a request to see the wood stain and the paint color?
Not after the
Not
fact.
after the fact? Okay, maybe this is a request, but not necessarily,
Right, so stain color and
and paint, final paint choice.
As a courtesy.
Okay, moving on to old business. We have new construction, 98 Wilkes Lane. Again,
Well,
How you doing?
good. Just brought a little additional work. Good evening. My name is Brian Glasser. I'm the architect representing 98 Wilkes Lane LLC. And with me, I have Matthew and Marlene Barron, the owners.
He's not only.
So I was, unfortunately, I wasn't here to present last time, and I did get your comments. And my clients weren't here as well. I know we had an option to come back in front of a panel of two to make some changes. I just want to get a little more clarification, and I also just wanted to kind of go over the current situation with this particular property. To get started, as you'll see, we're providing aerial view in the upper left-hand corner. And I believe one of the comments that, I think it was from Tony, it was about the glass wall element in the front that was the concern of the board. So just to give you a little background, and not to take everyone's time too much, but when my clients came to me, they were looking at two pieces of property. And one was in Sagaponic, one was in Southampton. So we ended up, I kind of convinced them to go into this neighborhood, which they preferred, and I think Matt would shed some light on that as well. But one item that came up was this glass wall that they've seen in previous projects I've worked on in Southampton. And I did kind of explain to them the situation in the village with the glass wall and how that plays out. So in the beginning, we kind of reduced it as much as I could, and then when we came down to the second presentation, we brought it in quite a bit more, just to kind of go over the numbers, which I know I know these are technical terms that we kind of hold, we can kind of like say this is what the percentage is, but it's more about a feeling and how to fit in the neighborhood, right?
Mhm.
But just to go over the numbers again. Because I looked at the work that was previously presented when I wasn't here. We originally, on that center section, overall in the whole house, we ended up taking out 3.2%. Now with that center section, and you can see I just did a comparison right next to the two because it might be hard. So what's on the wall here is the currently proposed. The presentation board shows the original glass wall, which has thin mullions going in the middle. Maybe, Pat, if you don't mind putting the rear elevation up, because that kind of helps.
the rear elevation?
Yeah. So with the front, you guys can see what's presented here on the front. We also ended up removing, it wasn't 14.8%. We actually ended up moving 85 square feet, which is 19%. So on the front elevation, we reduced it quite a bit, bringing us down to around 26% on the front wall. And basically, like I said, 19% smaller in that one section. Now going back to my first statement, I know it still has a look of like a glass wall element. few things that I want to bring to everyone's attention based on the site plan and also this aerial view of neighboring properties. You'll see that houses, we have two modern structures to the west of us that actually have views from Parsonage looking south. They do have like two-story glass high walls, they're modern structures. The proposed that we're currently showing is less than what they currently have along the back facing the farm. So you'll see that here, this view, this house right here, and here's Parsonage, so you'll see these glass elements here. We also have a traditional home which has several glass wall elements. This is our property. So I'm talking about these two properties here. And also these are modern homes too, which I'm not really sure about, but we also have this property right here, which is this one, showing these double glass wall elements. So when it comes to that, I was thinking we were kind of comparable with, you know, designing a home that has this modern farmhouse feeling to it, and at the same time respecting that we're trying to keep the glass as minimal as possible. So that's kind of just giving you an idea of the neighboring properties. For myself, when it comes to the architecture, you know, I try to make my houses feel harmonious on all four sides. And you'll see here on the back, which my clients and myself love. And I think when it comes to the glazing, we have a nice balance here where it doesn't seem over the top. And now going to our proposed design, I preferred when we did take out the 85 square feet and bring the wood structures in the middle. So that was something I was excited about. And I thought we were kind of meeting somewhere in the middle when it comes to how much glass was there. One of the other items was on the inside. If you were to look on the TV screen, you'll see the three windows. That's actually like a balcony, and they're smaller windows, but those mimic from the inside the same proportions as the front, just that the front's a little bit taller. And also, you know, one of the, you know, the program elements or design elements that the client brought to my attention from the very beginning was the pool house. So I thought that between the pool house, the architecture of the pool house, and how the elements and the horizontal feeling of that modern structure, and then it ties into the house and it kind of goes through to the front, I just felt like it had a harmonious feeling. And the last thing I wanted to say, just between looking at the modern and the traditional homes in the neighborhood, I felt like this design kind of pulled together, like it feels like it's part of the vernacular of all the other neighboring properties. One thing I forgot to mention was if anyone were to be concerned, because I know, you know, you guys are trying to protect like the neighboring properties and who's it gonna affect. From what I could see, the only real person I would even see, so this is a elevation looking from the north south. There's a house here directly to the south, and we highlighted one single window, which looks like it's in an attic or maybe a bathroom. That would really be affected by it.
To the back or the front of the house?
The front. So this is, if we were looking here, we'd be looking at the back of our house, looking over the top of it.
Yeah.
So you're looking from basically this element, looking over, and there's a little window right here.
Yeah, you
which-
have such an advantage that you're on a flag lot already, right? That
This is, so it's a flag lot, and that's one other thing I wanna mention, like when I was designing the house, I knew my client wanted a lot of, like, if I showed you the house they wanted, it would be like an instant, no, like, get out of here. So with this, I thought we really pulled a lot of elements together, and unfortunately, I wasn't going to present last time. One of my employees, he was just kind of factual type of thing, so I just wanted you to kind of
well, thank you
get
for
an
that
overall, like,
very
view of what's going
thorough,
on.
you know, goal and explanation.
Yeah.
We were just chatting, or just before the meeting, about what the original goal of the homeowner when you bought the place, what your original vision is, and sometimes it can get, with all the opinions, you know, not the house you dreamed of, right? So we wanna make sure at the end here, as we get closer to approving, you know, are you happy with where we are, right? And
Yeah, I mean, so, thanks for throwing us into the bus. Yeah. This is very nice. Or speech here. Vote Baron, no. So look, yeah, this house is for our family, for us and our 3 kids. Seemed like a spec house that we're building, so this is a house I hope, you know, we're gonna see our grandkids in. I guess one of the issues for us is, I think we came in 2 meetings ago, we couldn't be here the last meeting, but 2 meetings ago. And we did try to listen, we did try to push it a little bit, but we did generally listen to Brian on what kind of he thought would get approved. And the feedback that we got at that meeting, frankly, was everybody loved sort of the back of the house, and hey, if you could mimic the back towards the front, you guys should be good to go. And that's, I think, kind of what we tried to do. And then it felt like and look, just in fairness, and I'm not gonna throw Sebastian under the bus or anything, none of us were here, and so I don't know what exactly was communicated at the last meeting, but it definitely felt like the comments were sort of like now chasing a bouncing ball a little bit. So from our perspective, look, we feel like, again, this is a house that we're planning on living in, at least part of the time. And we do feel like we tried to address the last round of comments from 2 months ago, not last month. And we hope we can get this thing going. I don't know. I have a little more I can say.
All right, so what we have here, these papers in front of us, Brian, is do you have this version of what you want to approve?
So that was originally submitted. I spoke to someone here and they said everything was fine because we were supposed to go in front of a committee at 2. One thing I will say is, and I just checked it this morning because I was putting my notes together, is that when it says on our second submission, it says that we changed it from, it was only a 14.8% change in that center section. That was a miscalculate. Like I said, unfortunately, I wasn't here. We actually had a conversation. Brian, you want to push it back? I'm like, let's just submit it, because I thought it was like kind of a slam dunk. I'm like, we're doing the right thing. It's gonna be fine. And I was like, let's just have Sylvester submit it and that's it. But I noticed, when I was doing the calculations, it's actually 19% change, which I know that's numbers. It's not as much as the feeling and the way the overall house looks, but that's the only thing that's wrong with that actual submission that you guys are currently looking at.
So may I just ask a question, because I wasn't here?
Yeah.
So the first submission, that was this, correct?
Yes.
Oh, I see, there were multiple,
It was gonna be, these are only 2 inches thick, and then if you can see, that's why I like that brought this up. So you can see the vertical and horizontal solid wood, and then we did the same thing here. And then we ended up reducing, and you'll see this in the submission, we ended up making these windows smaller as well. Which this proportion, if you look on the floor plan, matches on the front, which I know it's not important to you in the inside, but for myself and the interior designer, it's important. Because this is like kind of one space.
and then we're saying, sorry, that this was 14,
So if you
so
look,
19.
yeah, so. See the windows like. Nice. Go to the lighting. So what we did was we ended up to match this in the front. This ended up getting reduced by 6%.
Okay, that's what I was just trying to say, so it's a reduction by, that was this.
This area was actually reduced by 85 square feet. If you take 85 square feet, divide that by what the original amount was, it's actually 19% less.
Not 14, this number should be 19.
Yes, that's correct. Yep.
Okay, that's, I was trying to understand. Okay.
Yep.
I think the changes, look, I like the changes.
I was excited about it, like.
Very,
But all
It's
this
nice.
to say that, did you reduce it at all since the last meeting?
No.
That's what I was.
And what was, in the last meeting, was that asked?
Yes.
Okay,
So we were gonna go in front of a board of 2. And I just thought between myself and the homeowner committee here explaining to put a little more effort into just explaining the overall, the neighborhood and the environment that was, I think for the most part, and this is what I've explained to them, when you guys give me insight and then, what you're looking for, pretty much every time I do exactly above and beyond what you've asked. And this one, I feel like we're trying to, I think we're doing the right thing here, so.
So what, just if you can say out loud, the glazing on the front of the house is currently at,
26%.
okay. And the back? Glazing.
The rear is 25.
Okay, well, I'll ask the board here how they feel about where we are right now. We have different members than we did last time, and so sort of reopening the case, which is totally fine. So Does anybody have any thoughts on?
So just the numbers from last week, which are still the same, are
26 in the front.
26 from 29.
I have a cheat sheet if you wanted to show it to
A
me.
reduction, I'm just looking at the old notes, but reduction on the north, which is now 28.5 from 28.9. And blah, blah, blah. Overall, you're saying overall, this is the one number. So 21.9, is that still correct?
That's correct, yeah, that's correct, yes.
Wait, where's 21.9?
Yeah,
The overall is what
Oh,
you're saying?
overall, sorry.
Yes, yes. I was just checking with what last meeting's
Oh,
notes, 'cause
okay.
okay.
And I didn't even wanna really get hung up in the percentages,
No,
but
no, no,
I've been to multiple boards.
You're right in that they're
Yeah.
not prescriptive, it's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
but just, I was just catching up, so
Yeah,
forgive me for that. I think it's a beautiful house.
I do too.
I think it's totally contextual and, modern farmhouse. Very befitting. You always do good work.
thank you.
I actually like this much better
I do too.
Yeah,
aesthetically. I think it's much more like harmonious and pleasing and, symmetrical and then without, with the glass aside, just the nature of it.
right, if that was the same percentage and the numbers were identical, everyone would agree that the second,
It just makes much more architectural sense.
Yeah.
With the design.
in the back, like, I think the back looked awesome.
Yeah.
With the pool house, just the way it all feels, I think that, for me, it all kind of ties in with the elements on the front and the back, so, which is important to me.
Any other thoughts down there?
No,
Okay,
I like it. It's beautiful.
may we ask what the stain color is of the shingles and what the trim color is, please?
So the trim, what material? So the siding is gonna be, the siding in the roofing is, so the roofing is gonna be a tapered sawn, Alaskan yellow, left natural. And the siding is gonna be the same thing, just, it's not gonna be pressure treated, it's gonna be Alaskan yellow with, it's gonna be a perfection shingle. The windows are going to be, it's a gunmetal gray by Marvin, and the trim is gonna be a natural yellow cedar.
Everyone feel comfortable with that?
Yep.
Okay, well, I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Thanks.
So.
Wow.
It's not. I was thinking. That was the best. I'm just like, this is the first one. That requires. I guess, what?
I know, yeah, we really does.
This one second. Color. What was this one?
on to 155 Seascape Lane.
Hi, I'm Carla Peruzzi, the architect for this project. I'm here with the owner, Bill Herman, and with Melissa Dilovich, the county environment. So we are proposing, it's a house, it's a fantastic house in a stunning location. And we are proposing two changes. One, and maybe we can look at the floor plan, is to incorporate an existing screen porch, is 297 square feet. Maybe we to move to the plans, or I can show it to you in the model as well. It's this area. Can you put the floor plans up? Thank you. So we're trying to incorporate, this is an existing porch, it's 297 square feet. It's screened right now, and what we are trying to do is replace the existing screens with windows. And this is the side facing the sea. This side face west. There is another existing house over there, and there is another one here. And the house, anyway, is at the end of Seascape Lane, in fact. So the first change is that we incorporate that existing porch that is already quite hidden by the existing pergola. And the second change is that we would like to really change the window. This is a house that was built in 2008, and the windows we think were not really designed to maximize the view or even the light. It's very enclosed, even if the location is so great that the views are really fantastic. And so we were planning to replace the existing wood grids that is present everywhere in the elevation. Okay, so now we have the plan, sorry. So I think this is the second floor. Yeah, they should go to the ground floor, which is, so we are trying to incorporate this area over here, which is the porch. And then, and you can see that part of it is already screened and altered by the existing pergola. This one is the existing pool house. This one is the existing garage. That's the entrance to the house. So this is the main living area, which I think will really gain a lot by having this extra space. It's all within the FAR, in any allowable FAR in any case. If we go to the elevation, I would like to show you the changes that we would like to do to the windows. Yeah, so that's it. So we try to do all this rendering, showing you the night and day views. And yeah, so most of it is, well, all the views are done as if it was full. So it's really like the maximum view of the house. And you can see from this picture, the house is very well screened already by all the vegetation over here and over here. I mean, I walk there a lot, and it's really, the front doesn't have anyone, it's really facing the pond and the ocean. So the second, really what could be more visible is the second floor, but being that there are only bedrooms, it's basically not going to be that lit at night. The windows that we are proposing, yes, they don't have anymore the wood grid that exists right now on the existing ones, but we will keep a wood frame, we will keep things that somehow don't make it extremely contemporary, because it's not. And a lot of the windows will have, in any case, sun movable mosquito net screens, yeah, for the summertime. So I don't know, we can go maybe to the next drawings, I can show you the percentage of the changes. The main change really is on the east facade, but is also the most protected by the pergola and the existing greenhouse. So this is it. You can keep going because these are just the existing elevation. This is, yeah, here is perfect. So this one is the front view. So we are just basically keeping the same opening, just replacing the different windows. You can see how here all the windows are very small with all these wood mountains. You can see the pergola over here. So that's one, and these are all the screens, the mosquito net screen that we will be using. This one represents only a small increment of 2% from the existing glazed areas. Can you go to the next one? Can you go to the next one?
Sure.
Yeah, no, that's fine. This one is the one that I was telling you, maybe it is increasing the most, but it's also the one that, as I was showing to you, is completely protected by the full house and by the existing pergola. And the increment is due by the fact that we are changing the porch from a screen area to a glazed area. And then, can you go to the next? Yeah, this one is the main entrance, which is, by the way, hidden by the garage for most of it. It doesn't have anything in the back. So probably the only, as I said, the only area of windows that really increase is the one on this facade because of the.
It's not even really increasing that much,
No.
24.8 and it's going to 25.5. The main difference is that there's no mullions, right?
Yes, that's the big change. We still keep the idea of a wood frame, so it's not gonna be aluminum or anything like that, so it's still gonna have, and that's why also the windows, we represented them exactly
Yeah,
as they
thank
will
you.
be in the
That's
different
really,
places.
really this model is.
Yeah, that was super helpful.
Thank you. All right, well, does anybody have any thoughts?
Seems fine.
I think it's thoughtful and makes sense and it's more in line with what people are doing today and as you said, maximizing views and just removing mullions thoughtfully.
They'll be white or gray?
No, it would be great.
The one she just showed.
Yes,
Yeah, she
yeah.
just showed
Let me
them.
see.
It's this one.
Oh,
It will
okay.
be probably more, we're gonna try to make it more in line with the existing shingles, so it might be even slightly darker, but that's the.
Yes, I agree. I think it looks great.
All right, I'll make a motion to approve. I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Ooh, I thought I had to say something.
You're welcome. Take a moment.
Thank you.
Thank you for this.
Thank you.
Really helpful.
I'll grab the steps. Ali.
Oh, you're fine. I take this out, I'll sign it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
Or you can.
Oh, I think I'm gonna skip that.
Oh, Alicia, do you want to sign up?
Oh, sorry.
Moving on to 35 Sag Pond Court.
Afternoon, Eric Peterson, architect for 35 Sag Pond Court. And I'm sorry, yeah, the application we have, we did make a resubmission removing the front porch enclosed, which is depending on what packet you have, that might be the only change, is that there's just no front porch enclosure. So that was, we had a ZBA approval as of last month or the beginning of this month for a front porch conversion and a second floor roof deck, a very small conversion we needed in order to keep the FAR. But I'm not sure which files you have, so I'll clarify that on screen.
Looks like this.
Perfect, okay.
Yeah, so primarily this is an interior alteration. There are a few exterior changes regarding columns. We are replacing all the windows and doors and proposing to enclose the left side porch on the, you can see that on the front elevation on the left side, on the far left. And there's also on the second floor, which was a very small second floor porch. Previously, if we look at the existing elevations, maybe the photos, I'm sorry, jump. So currently this is, there is a roof deck that is shingled roof deck with a very small, you can see underneath the kind of that flat arch porch. So we're proposing to convert that amount of porch to the second floor stair landing. And there's a new window configuration there too, you can see with the 3 transoms above. Where they had an elliptical arch before, we're just squaring that off with a rectangular transom. So not a big change in terms of glazing versus wall, but you know, the lower left screen porch, we're just kind of treating that like a Four Seasons porch. So that does increase the amount of glass, obviously, but that's within a kind of covered porch. The other small point, there's an inconsistency on the rendering. It's correctly drawn on the exterior elevations, the proposed elevations. The windows are larger on the, yeah, if you go back, I'm sorry, to that rendering.
I'm sorry about
I'm jumping around, sorry. This is from the ZBA too. But we go back to the front rendering, the proposed.
to the first one.
Yeah, to that. We're showing these as full height windows. We're going to reduce the lower sash in both locations. We're proposing just because it counters in terms of arbor. So it'll reduce the amount of glass.
And that's reflected in the lighting analysis. That's
Yeah,
all,
correct.
okay.
And also, yeah, the exterior elevations.
Okay.
And yeah, so we'll see also to the kind of the center right of the screen is the porch conversion, maybe with the kitchen. So that added a little bit more glass right there as well. But effectively, it's just some of the windows we just reorganized, and you can see that on sheet A205 is the lighting analysis of the existing. I'm sorry, the A203. It compares the existing above and the proposed below. Right. So that the upper one is the existing, and then the lower one is proposed. So it's probably easier to see on the sheet, but I think that summarizes well like what we're looking to do.
Contractor increasing the glazing.
It's fractional light, and what Brian just said, it's similar. So it's, you know, most of the locations, either like in the back of the house, they just get a little, instead of the sill being at ankle height or knee height, it goes down to the floor, right? So it's not that we're really increasing the width so much as we're just kind of modifying the opening.
So interesting to see the percentage. Why is the percentage so low? Like, when you look at the square footage of the front of the house,
Right.
is there really that much wall there? That's,
Yeah, the dormers go in the eave line if you were to follow that around. That's the wall area is 2239, and then the glazing is 352. So I count up to the obviously anything wall to the soffit, and there's the frontage has the dormers as well. So
and that maybe includes sidewall on the front of the house?
oh, for sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Anything planar to the elevation.
Maybe that's what I'm just not factoring in my visual.
And there's also an angle to this as well. So
Right.
the house has an angle to it. So it's a little deceptive the way that the garage side is angled. So it's a little distorted.
Okay. So I'm not totally crazy.
No, because of the kink, it probably doesn't read 100% accurately. It's a little like from that, whatever we want to call that tower element before the garage, that's viewed on an angle at that point. So there's less view than this than the
Makes sense. Thank you for that explanation.
I think the changes look nice.
I do too. I think they look good.
Thank you. Yeah, we just wanted to do some mild improvements. Part of it is cost related too. We're not looking to, have to replace and do new things. A lot of locations are just going to be replaced. I think really, it was really the front and the back, the main, things that we wanted to work on. That was a big improvement, just the front porch, instead of it being shingled, having a balcony with a railing on this.
Works for me.
Nice. Great. Yep. Make a motion to approve.
I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Good. Cheers.
All right, thank you.
The date is right there.
I can't ask how they're calculating. Well, I was asking what was included.
That's one before where it wasn't including.
Right.
So they were considering that.
And isn't the sidewall considered east or west? I think we maybe could clarify that next time. What do you guys think? You guys, can I just ask a quick question? If he's including the sidewalls on the front of the house, is that not considered east or west facing?
Is he including that in there?
And some are on an angle on the garage, so I think this percentage just looks
A little skewed.
low, but I mean, overall, of course,
Yeah,
it's
but-
approvably fine.
It's
And I just
right.
think in the future, we might need to
Be
clarify
careful of
what
where,
wall they're counting
okay,
in their
All right.
actual square footage.
okay.
We're just finishing signing this and then we'll move on.
Pardon me?
Oh, Pat, I was just saying, we're gonna sign this and then we'll move on in a minute. Okay. Moving on to Broadway Gates 414 Hedges Lane.
So Ian Hambeck, Thorpe Hambeck Landscape Architects for the applicant. Pat, I believe, has provided you with an 11:17 copy of what's up on the screen. This is really just meant to be a shortcut to all the content included in the application. The gate, I think, is pretty straightforward as an application. The design is more or less extracted from the design guidelines. We're trying to keep this with that rural agrarian feel appropriate for Sagaponic. I think one aspect of this application that stands out is that the gate is set, 200+ feet back from Hedges Lane. So you really don't see it from the right of way. You can see on these 3Ds, the view from the road, it's so far in the distance, you can barely perceive it. And that 3D view that's in the upper rightmost corner of that sheet. We do have a view that zooms in a little bit so that you can see that design and that detail, which mirrors what's on the elevation. But just set very far back, really meant to keep people from pulling down that flag lot, turning around on the property. Very
It's a
good.
flag lot.
Correct.
Yeah, so the historical farmhouse is in the front of the lot. And then just all the way down to the right of that is this lot.
Which would be weathered cedar, meant to just silver out over time.
I mean, I think it's the game's fine. Yeah. The placement of it being so far back. It's-
Yeah.
Look forward to that upper game, so.
It's a lot like the other one, just more substantial. It's-
Yeah, there's precedent just up the road at 542. You
Yeah.
can see there's one more mid rail, but that's really the only difference. Same diagonal.
Yep, looks good to me.
Have a motion to approve.
It's worth
Second.
Okay.
That's pretty good. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Why is we provide, yes, I'm gonna keep this one.
Okay, thank you.
And that's under.
Now I have to look at it.
Yeah.
Record time?
Yeah.
Record.
Thoughts?
All pretty good.
What do you think about them? You know, how they should be calculating? Is anybody telling the applicants how to calculate their wall ratio?
In this case, nobody asked me anything about that. This isn't the first time Eric has been there. And of course, if you're going to find a way to take advantage and make it look better, you will.
Yeah.
So that, it was never presented to me, showing that they're using the bends in the house. And to be perfectly honest, it's a little difficult when the house has all of those sort of
Right.
angles all
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, should we end the meeting? No, we're gonna
You
end.
gotta do a committee of two
Okay, I'm sorry, one there.
and remind everybody, next month's meeting is September 29th instead of the fourth Monday.
First, we need to select a committee of two for September.
I'm available, I haven't done it.
Okay. Very good. Okay, Emily and Alicia. Great, and then the next meeting date, because of Rosh Hashanah, right, correct, is gonna be on September 29th at noon. Okay, I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.